561 Music Festival.
Brought to you by Stenger, Greene and Feiner.
At the Meyer Amphitheater.
May 3rd.
It's a free show.
20 bands.
2 stages.
Art vendors.
Food vendors.
Drinks vendors.
There you go. Go to 561musicfestival.com for details.
20 bands will play West Palm Beach all day. Support your music scene. May the 3rd is free. 561 Music Festival.
Supported by Stenger, Greene and Feiner. Welcome to 561 Music. My name is Ben.
And who am I?
You're the one, the only, often imitated but never duplicated, Mr. Thunder Goose Hector Diaz.
Insert applause here. You gotta put like a crowd roaring or something. You know?
I will, I promise.
Women cheering.
I don't know if you can specify. I'd just be cheering.
Yes.
You might be able to. I don't know. From the Beatles or something like that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So, is there anything we need to get off our chest? What's going on with the festival right now?
Same thing that was going on last week, man. It's still happening. It's still May 3rd. It is still an all-day festival at the Meyer Amphitheater. Still 20 bands, 2 stages, food trucks, beer vendors, art vendors. In fact, if you are an artist, we have 20 booths available. We've already had about 6 applications already just from this week, so they're filling up quick.
Yeah.
So if you're an artist and you want to get on the art vendor booths, let us know. Hit us up. Send us an email, 561musicpodcast@gmail.com. You can get all of the details for the festival at 561 Music Fest or 561musicfestival.com. Either one of them will take you there. The festival has some great sponsors. It is very generously sponsored and presented by Stenger, Greene and Feiner. Yeah, our good friends over there. Had a great meeting with them today, and we're going to be doing all sorts of cool marketing things. Yeah, man, that's about it. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. We're getting all our ducks in a row for it. If you want to, and there's sponsorship available still. So if you want to sponsor, and like Justin was just asking me, when's the sponsorship cut off? I mean, quite frankly, if you want to hand me a check the day of the show, I'm not going to say no to you. But the earlier you sponsor, the more benefits you're going to get, because there's more time between now and the festival to mention, to have ads, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. I'm putting together some reels and stuff actually tonight, and that I'll be able to include the sponsors we have already in those now. So it definitely behooves you to get it in sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and if you want to know all the details about it, you can watch last week's episode, or you can go on the website, 561musicfestival.com.
Correct.
561musicfest.com.
Correct.
Yeah, go check that out. So we have a great episode today. We have Gabe from Change is Great. How's it going?
Hello. How are you?
It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. I feel like we haven't been talking for like 4 hours now.
I know, right?
Like we just started.
You just started.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the line is drawn in the sand.
I like lines in the sand.
So yeah, we've known each other for a hot minute. We were just talking about that time I held your bass drum for a really long time.
Yeah. This man made it absolutely possible for me to play a whole set. Without him, I probably would have not been able to do so. The bass drum was like pretty bad, but thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we've been kicking around the same scene for a while, and I had the pleasure of being able to see you in multiple projects, and now you have really your baby, like this, the project that's like all your own.
Yeah.
And we sat in the car, and you played me a couple of tunes, and a few weeks ago, and sometimes when people do that, you're like, you have to kind of pretend you like it.
Yeah, I was trying to read you in the car. I was like, is he doing that thing?
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't tell.
But
It's okay. I do it to Ben all the time.
Once in a blue moon, I'll give you that. Yeah, you have done for sure. But I'm really enjoying your new music.
I appreciate that,
and I find it it's intelligent in the sense that in the musicality of it, like. What's the song that you're going to play for us today called again?
It's called Feelings Hurt.
Feelings Hurt. The chorus in that song is just, it's really clever from a musical perspective, from a songwriting perspective. The way that the chorus works And the way that it's kind of like a polyrhythm that repeats in an irregular pattern over the top of the chords, I think it's very clever.
So I took over the year that I took from my previous band that I was in and stuff like that. I took the time to learn how to write a song. Like I was sitting there, I was there's this what's her name? Sades. I looked at her programming for like Logic and stuff like that. Okay. Sat through her whole class. So I learned about production, like how to work with Logic, how to record myself, how to actually engineer myself. Because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit with myself for a while. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm gonna go ahead and sit with this. I'm gonna sit with all my feelings. My feelings are hurt. I'm gonna get it out. You know what I mean? And so I took a little songwriting course.
Nice.
I forget which one it is. I forget the dude's name, but he talks a lot about polyrhythms and how maybe you repeat one line 3 times, but change it on the 3rd time around. You know what I mean, to make it catchy. So I took the time to learn that stuff.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And it's interesting you'd say that because I didn't know whether it was just something that just came to you at some point or whether you'd worked on it. And the fact that you worked on it gives me hope because it's very clever.
I mean, dude, honestly, it's not like I sat there and was like formulated like, I'm going to do this here. No, it just kind of sort of happened. Feelings Hurt was actually written at the same time of another song. So I had 2 songs being written at the same time. So I was like hopping from my living room to my studio room to my garage. And like I was hopping from instrument to instrument, and then I would write something like, "Oh, this shit works for this song." Yeah, because there's so much to process at one point that I had to get it out.
So, when it comes to like what this project means to you, what why it came about, where the creativity comes from, have you got any light to shed there? Like what's it about?
So, Change is Great has been around since 2006. Right. Started off with like my journal entries and. At the time, this is when we had Windows 98 and we had dial-up internet, and I think I was recording on like WinZip or something like that, like and like the actual sound recorder and like just figuring it out, right? And I was like 15, 16 years old, maybe 14, I can't remember. And I was taking a shit ton of acid with my friends. Right. And I was just sitting there taking these journal entries and making them into like pop punk songs. Yeah. Like I was trying to rip off Mark Hoppus as much as possible. So
we all did. That's fine.
And then I put that down and started playing for everybody else's band. And then I was like, came to this and I'm like, I have so many fucking songs. I have so many. So I was like, let's go ahead and do it. Let's open up this journal. Yeah. And I started flipping through pages. I was like, holy shit, I wrote this when I was 15. What the fuck was I going through? So
yeah. Now I hear that. That's pretty much how I do it too. I just try and keep track of the things that happen to me that either upset me or just put me in a certain way, and write down dreams and everything. And I've got I just try and keep a track of it all. Because
that's cool that you write down your dreams also. Like I literally write if I wake up and I remember it. So that song has a part in it where it says I already dreamt it. Yeah. I have a thing where like I dream things and it kind of sort of happens. Sure. So it's kind of sort of like a clairvoyant kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's I know that some people can write almost like it's a science, like they don't have to write from personal experience, and I'm always impressed by those people. We've interviewed a couple of people like that, but it's not how it works for me because I have to care enough about the thing to get to the end of writing a song about it. I find it difficult to be fucked to do it.
I feel like it makes it more relatable at that point. Yeah. Because how many times have you gotten your heart broken? Yeah. Have any of your partners ever left you for their best friend? Like it's pretty common. I feel like So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like writing based off personal experience and versus writing against like the, imagination. I love the fact that Mark Hoppus can do both and you have no idea. Yeah. It's one of the things, I was listening to 9 on the way over here and I'm like, this song he's been married to his wife since high school. Like, who is this song about? You know what I mean?
Hector's,
I have to giggle over here because we have this conversation all the time. I have the hardest time when I write a song. Like 99% of the time, it ends up being about like being jilted or being left for somebody or whatever, or like some woman. but I've been married for 28 years.
I feel like maybe it happened in a past lifetime.
Something.
I
don't
feel like,
know.
because I mean, okay, I read this book, the War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, and not The Art of War. People confuse that. But this book states that, sometimes you get an idea and you're like, where the hell did I get this idea from? Like, was it me? Where is it? Like, and there's like a whole spiritual aspect of stuff, whether you believe in it or not. Sometimes your ideas aren't yours. So
it's funny. I just came across somebody I met recently. I just came across this whole, with the planet. Like we just recently had what they call the parade of planets, and the planets all lined up a certain way. There's like astrology behind it and all that. I've never been into that, but this person was like telling me about it, and we were talking about like soulmates and twin flames and like all this kind of stuff, and like.
My favorite.
Like it's one of those things.
My favorite topic.
Yeah, it was one of those things. Like I didn't really. I don't think I've ever really thought about it or believed in it. And then, like the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? A lot of that shit actually makes sense.
Nothing is a coincidence.
It explains a lot of things in life where you go, oh, actually that does make sense.
I've realized this. Everything is interconnected. Everything is intertwined. So I mean,
I agree with a lot of that. I know that I don't know, which is perhaps my only shred of wisdom, is that I'm aware that I'm not aware of almost anything that's going on.
But that's literally the awareness that you need for that. So I think don't think that you're at the wrong spot, because knowing what you don't know, like what you don't know, think about it. If you were to take a circle and a pie graph and you were to sit there and be like, okay, what percentage of this pie graph are the things that I don't know about? What would you say is like
almost
the whole thing?
99%.
Yeah. So that leads you to think like, holy shit, what is real? What is not? Like, is there another dimension of like, what is what? Twin flames, like whatever.
Sure. That's it. And that's why I'm very reluctant to, I could be cynical about certain things, but I'm very reluctant to just completely poo-poo an idea, because I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I love that you said poo-poo.
I know, I liked it.
Like
I
you're
was
10 years old, man. You can say you shit on an idea. It's okay.
Yeah, there's cursing allowed in this podcast. I don't think you'd have me on here if it wasn't.
No, exactly. That's true. In that situation, that's how you say it. It's not. I didn't say poo-poo like I'd done a poo-poo in my pants.
I did a boom boom. I did a boom boom.
Yeah, right. So it's basically at this point, this project it's always been there, but now you're choosing to focus on it.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's always literally been there. I've always written songs.
Yeah.
People have always pissed me off. I always have something to talk about. So,
sure.
You know what I mean? There's so many songs, man. So many songs. This song that's about to come out, it's called Asshole. And
nice.
it's about
songs about me.
It's about watering dead plants, meaning like watering dead friendships, and like just being like, hey, like what is going on? Like you're not listening to me. You're not listening. That's literally one of the lyrics. No one's listening. You guys will hear when it comes out. But yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So how are you arranging the releases? Is everything kind of self-done? Are you just kind of are you uploading them and doing everything yourself, or do you have anyone?
So right
you?
now I'm taking different approaches just to see what works best.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So there's method behind the madness.
I mean, if I took the time to sit there and take a songwriting course, I'm gonna definitely sit there and take a marketing course. Also,
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just like learning. Knowledge is power, and it's the shit that you don't know about, right? Like you just want to try to fill up that circle as much as possible.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so marketing wise, for Feelings Hurt, what I went ahead and did was I obviously said, hey, here's a pre-save. Pre-save did awesome. I was like, holy shit, this might work, right?
Really? Because I've never had very much luck with pre-saves.
Neither have I. I've done the pre-save things several times, but this time for some reason it worked, right?
That's cool.
And then I was like, okay, let me make the reels to this shit. And it just so happened I took a Sunday with this gentleman named Brandon. What's up, Brandon? Brandon went ahead and spent the whole Sunday with me, and we filmed for 8 hours. The poor man fell on a skateboard trying to film some shit. But at the end of it, we had all this footage, and I was like, hey, so I know we have about like 8 reels already done. Let's just make a whole fucking music video. And he was like, yeah, we have enough, you know? So he came over. My mom cooked us some food. We sat down. We put the music video together. And at that point, I was like, all right, I have all my ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Let's plan the release.
That's the thing that has worked the best for me is making a bunch of reels for the Nina's Yard Party releases. I made tons of reels, and that was really what.
It's fun, man.
I got a lot of views and a lot of listens from that. You know, and also throwing some money at them, and you know, like
instead of throwing money on it, it's very important to post at the right time.
True. Also true.
If there's any advice that I can give anybody on this podcast, look at your analytics, figure out your statistics, and figure out what works for your profile, what times work best for your stuff.
Because it really can be totally different. I was showing someone the other day, I had 2 posts, one of which was talking about how I got my citizenship, right? So that was...
congratulations, by the way. Huge congratulations.
It's like I've come sit down on the couch of the house that is burning.
Welcome to America.
I mean, you certainly picked a time to...
weird time.
The weird time to be in America, and just like I picked a weird time to be a dude, so...
He just became an American, now he wants to get out.
No, you know what I'm really happy about is that I don't... Because of the craziness that's going on, I don't have to be insecure about that anymore. You know what I mean? I can just relax.
I mean, I would have totally hit you in my house if I had to. Just so you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, and also, you know, something else. I really didn't mean to make this about me, but I'm going to say this one thing, which is I always felt a little bit weird having opinions about things to do with the US and not being a US citizen. So I feel like, you know, I wanted to have my... I want to put my money where my mouth is, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, I feel like your opinion mattered way more when you weren't an American. But that's just my opinion. Sorry. So
now that you're an American, your opinion means nothing.
Nothing to me.
I'm just dead to me now.
That's funny.
No, but congratulations, seriously.
Well, it's a thing. It's happened, and it was pretty fun too. I had a good day out. Yes. So there was that post that I made. I had a gazillion likes. And then above it, there was one that was some kind of thing about a release, you know, there was kind of borderline advertising, and it just had no, like, you know, 100th of the amount of people liked it. And
it's because you had this one post that did really well, and then your next post, it was probably the timing of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it like that. Like I said, timing is everything. So for TikTok, I've realized that I think it's between like 11 to 12. I have gained a massive TikTok following within a matter of like a week.
Oh, sick.
When the TikTok ban happened, I saw it die in my hands. And then the next morning it came back to life, right? And it was like, hey, thank President Trump, right? And I was like, interesting propaganda here. And then I got on and I was like, my algorithm was completely fucked. Yeah. So I got on there and I was like, hey, you gays, help me. You know, like, please follow me. Please get me to the right side of TikTok. And all the gays were like, we're here. And I'm like, yes!
Oh, nice. There you go.
And I was able to go, I'm able to go live now. I think it was, last time I checked, it was almost at 1,100 followers.
Nice.
And I went from having 100 followers, right?
Yeah.
And now I have this whole little queer community that's like, just like, fuck yeah, change is great, let's go. Even though they might not be listening to my music, but they will. They will, you know?
Right.
That's cool.
Can we try that? Can we, like, for Kill Billy's page, can we be like, hey, gays, come on.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, it's especially the whole, like, you got to think about it like this. Like, the TikTok, it's so political right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That either, whatever side you appease to, I'm sure you can gain a following.
Well, the problem with Kill Billies is this.
Especially Killbillies, dude. Come on, like
the problem with Killbillies is we tend to appeal to kind of
to the wrong people,
the people that we're not.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Which is very It's unfortunate.
It is
but
unfortunate.
I think that doesn't have to be like that. We just need to make a little bit more of a big deal about not being that, and I think it might fix it.
It's just so weird that you say that because I don't like. I know what you mean, but like I can't.
But it's 100% that.
I can't even imagine like.
We get invited to like. You know, like a festival, for example, and then we get there and it's literally like not us.
Yeah,
that's happened to me.
The music is fine. I mean, the music fits perfect, and people love us. But the people are not.
I think that's what makes you guys so fucking cool. Honestly, that's That makes
Well, I
you guys
appreciate that.
even cooler, you know?
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a weird one to navigate all of that, you know, because of the sort of slightly country folk leaning things. It can go one or two ways in terms of the people who are listening to it. But it's not like there's plenty of people who are super chill who listen to it too. So.
Sure.
Yeah. Not, I'm sure, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's like your whole entire...
Yeah.
Have you had any, like with TikTok and stuff, have you had any issues? And like you said, I mean, it kind of died down a little bit and then it picked back up. Like, have you had any issues? Like, I made the mistake of getting a brand new phone after the whole TikTok.
Well, I mean,
ban
you can
thing.
download it now. You can re-download
You can
it
again?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
'Cause I only have it on one of my phones. I was trying to get on the other one. I couldn't.
No,
Well,
you
it's
can do
on
it
my-
now.
yeah,
You can do it
it's
now
on my phone,
Yeah.
but because when I backed up my one phone to the other phone, it was automatically on there, but it wasn't letting me have access to anything at the time. I don't know. I haven't checked it recently.
I think you could have gone. This might be completely false, but I think you might have, when they put it back up, you might be able to access it through your Facebook page somehow.
Okay.
There's some shit.
Yeah, somebody was
Yeah.
telling me that you have to like download like a VPN thing or something and like VPN in and stuff. Like you can't just go, just go directly to it anymore.
Yeah, no. I mean, now it's fixed.
Gotcha.
You're more than welcome. I'm sure if you try to download it on your phone, you're able to. CapCut's back up too.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I've had a bit of a weird time with it because I had one that I was doing for Nina's Yard Party that was doing quite well, but I think because you've got to be a little bit careful with like promotion on TikTok, don't you?
Yeah, there's a couple things that you can't say, but I don't give a shit
When
about
it comes to promotion, I'm curious, have you ever found that like, because maybe I was just being a bit too blatantly promoting the music because that account just I couldn't open it anymore. It got like shut down, I guess.
That's so weird.
And I think it was I don't know what it was for.
Yeah, but that's weird. Why from
would they shut
blatantly
it down?
promoting music? Isn't
I
like
don't
the
know,
whole
but
point of
sometimes it
TikTok is
says
to
you're-
promote stuff?
Well, sometimes it says that I don't think you're meant to make reels that are just straight advertising because I don't think
What do
you're allowed
you?
to do that.
So let me ask you this: are you saying like that it mutes the sound of the song or whatnot
No,
off
not
of it,
that.
or like
It closed the account just to show them.
so weird?
Yeah.
It's because you were British.
Maybe, dude. Honestly, look, I've just, ever since I came out as trans and stuff like that, I've had like weird shit happen on like TikTok, on all my social media platforms. Like following certain people that I would never follow, or like
Right,
losing
yeah.
a ton of followers. Like my Instagram took like a whole hit,
Really?
and I hadn't posted shit
Just
Hadn't
just on its own?
on its own.
That's
And I was just
interesting.
like, especially like after the election happened, I was like, well, fuck it. I don't really give a shit about those people anyways. Way.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff, especially like X, the old Twitter and stuff like that. There was a lot of stuff after the election that certain public figures that suddenly had these accounts again and things like that were being followed by like millions of people like overnight. And
Yeah,
so
that happened to me. I was like, I don't follow. Why
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Like I was
Yeah.
following a couple of questionable people, but I was like, I would have never hit follow on this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened, that happened
that
to me
was
as well.
weird.
And so I had to unfollow a few questionable people, like Ben, of course.
So yeah, like the name change is great. Is not political. I just want to make everybody know that. I know I mentioned to you guys, but I wanted to let everybody know it's not. It's more like sarcasm. When I was 15, I was like, change is terrible. This is trash. This sucks.
Right.
And I got it tattooed on
change
my
is great.
chest. So I have change is great tattooed on my chest. It's been there for like over 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was not like a slogan, a mixture of both slogans or anything like that, because I've gotten that. So
I used to have a padlock on a chain around my neck. I've been admiring it because I used to have one very similar to that.
we got to get you on that Louis V.
Yeah,
You want
man.
one? You want me to
That's
get you one?
Hell yeah.
I'll get you
kidding?
one. Yeah, absolutely. I won't keep the key so you can take it off, but yeah, absolutely, dude. I'll get
That
you
would
one.
actually be funny.
Super cool.
Yeah.
That'd be even funnier. Keep the key.
Yeah, I went to Home Depot to get the chain, and they had like everything like closed off, and there was this one dude just like like all the way up there, and I guess he got super annoyed because he had to come down. And then he
It's like
looks
a
at
20-minute ride down from the thing, man.
dude, he looks at me, he goes, wait a second, you fucking play drums? And I was like, I used to. Well, yeah, I guess I kind of still play drums. He's like, yeah, you were in some band. And I was like, please don't mention it. Please don't mention it. And then he's like, what do you need? I'm like, I need this chain. He's like, just put it in your pocket. And I was like, this dude just told me to steal from Home Depot. This is crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Imagine if like the big head honcho of Home Depot is watching this podcast.
I don't know the gentleman's name. It was not the store off of Boynton Beach Boulevard.
Oh man,
was
I
not
love it in
John.
Home Depot. I could walk around Home Depot all day. It's just, I like the smell.
I like it too. Honestly, your bathroom. I walked in there. I don't know what this smelled, but it reminds me of like my first grade, like art class.
Oh well, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it was great. Yeah, no, my first grade teacher was lovely. Yeah.
So you play a lot of different instruments, and this is a music podcast. So I'm curious, like to we usually ask this kind of thing at the beginning, but what did you start on?
Shit, hold on. Bass. Yeah, I started on bass.
Okay,
I was in a Blink-182 cover band when I was like 9.
and then did drums follow that?
Drums followed after that. I mean, drums, guitar and bass usually like it was hand in hand.
Okay.
Like they bought me a really cheap like nylon. It was like a what is it? Carlo Rebelli. I don't know if you guys remember those like.
Carlo Rebelli.
It was like a Sam Ash. Like,
Oh yeah, I got you.
like
yeah,
just
I remember.
regular. Like
Yeah.
they made this guitar, so it was mad cheap. But I got like a nylon string guitar, so I was like, I would listen to Blink-182 and Smash Mouth, and everything's self-taught. So I just sat there and tried to match the pitches to the tones, and I was like, oh, this is how you play guitar. Okay, these are power chords,
Yeah.
and everything just.
That's pretty fun.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of it is just that work, sitting at home in your bedroom, just listening to stuff and trying to emulate it. There's not really any better tuition than that. That's like, if you're doing that, then lessons on top of it are fantastic, but you got to be doing that. That's the root of it all.
I feel like watching people play and just sitting at home, like you can do a lot.
Yeah, you really can.
I tell it to my students all the time. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, like, you're not going to need me. You don't really need me. I say that all the time, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I think that the things that are good about teaching it is that you can help keep people accountable, which is really helpful, and you can get people to places faster than they would do on their own.
Yeah.
You can get shortcuts, and you can also be a cheerleader. Just help them.
I love being a cheerleader. I have this one student. He's, bless him, dude. He's so cool. He's 15, and when I first met him, he's like, I want to learn how to play. What's this Foo Fighters song called? It's the one that's really annoying. Like, what's the fuck? is it?
Everlong.
Everlong, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to learn how to play Everlong, and I was like, fuck, buddy, you're gonna fucking hate that shit. I didn't tell him that because I didn't want to discourage him. But now it's been 6 months, and he can fucking play Everlong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like,
Did you explain to him that whole story of the fact that the guitar part is like a drum part and
Yeah.
all that stuff?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lesson just in that from that.
that whole song, we based, I think it was like 6-7 lessons just based off of that, and then we got into other things like moving around because he struggles with like moving around the kit and stuff like that. So
Okay,
I gave him
gotcha.
like a bunch of different like I guess you could call them like quad exercises where he's just like kind of and then
Cool.
he's able to do it. He's able to get halfway through the song, which is amazing. And his
What do you
dad's
teach
like,
most? Instrument
that's hard.
just a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, like drums and guitar pretty equally. No one really wants to learn bass. I had this one guy, an older gentleman. He's Canadian. He just moved back up to Canada, so
Yeah.
that was like the last bass player.
He's just like,
student
all
I
right,
had.
I'm out.
Yeah,
Well, that's because nobody has to learn bass. Like bass just kind of is just there.
but it's so cool. It's like the
I agree.
coolest instrument.
No,
you
I
know?
get that, but I'm saying like with guitar, like there's certain intricacies and chords and whatever.
Oh, you can take bass pretty far too.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. There's a lot more to learn about bass than I feel like guitar. To be honest.
That's because if you really want to be like a boss level bassist, you got to know a lot about harmony and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it doesn't just present itself like on the guitar. You're playing those chords, but on the bass, you just have to know what they are and play one of the notes. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
yeah, it's kind of
So
complicated.
one of the things I did on Feelings Hurt, which I took the bass, right? You have a sub bass and then you have an actual bass, right? And I don't know if you know what a bass 6 is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one in that room.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I want to get one so
That's so
bad.
cool, dude.
Yeah, I think that's probably on my next like on my gear list. To
Yeah,
get.
they're awesome.
Yeah. So I pretty much just tried to get that feel.
Yeah.
Where I added a sub bass and then I went ahead and played the third on the bass.
Yeah, cool.
So it's like the song's almost like building a chord with different instruments. Because
Yeah.
then you have the guitar doing some other shit on some triad or some shit too.
The
Like,
octave and a third on a bass is my favorite sounding thing
Mm-hmm.
of anything. I just love the way that sounds.
It's so round.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
nice.
and it's so just inherently sad. It just sounds sad for some reason.
It sounds. I mean, I think The Cure did it a lot.
Yeah.
The Cure does that.
I've always loved the sound of that. And every now and again, I get the opportunity to use it in something. My friend Virgil, he used to do that all the time. He used to build whole bass lines off doing that with the third.
That's awesome.
I've been trying to get the Wooten thing going. The way that I slap is like Flea with thumb down. And so I've been trying recently to figure out the one where you're parallel to the string.
So Victor Wooten is the coolest motherfucker ever. I got to meet him when I worked at Sam Ash. He did like a clinic.
Oh, really? Cool.
He did clinic with John Blackwell, which is a drummer from Prince.
Yeah.
And those two dudes are so fucking funny, like together.
That's awesome.
I think John passed away, but Victor was like, I was like, hey dude, like, what do you recommend me to practice? He's like, nothing. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't practice. He's like, I mean, practice, but like, don't stress about it. And I was like, and I never stressed about it.
Yeah.
I never stressed about
That's
it after
so
that.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
But, you can only really get to where he's got with it by playing a lot. But I know what it
That's
means.
pretty much what he got. What he was trying to say. Like, hey, you can only practice. Like, practice isn't really your like practice. Like, playing is practice. The more you play, like, the better you're gonna get at it. And that honestly stuck to me so much. Just on any instrument, really. Like,
yeah. No, you just got to put it's really about putting the hours in and playing. Yeah. And because I'm at this kind of like tilt point, this sort of like fulcrum point with guitar again. I always get up to it, and then it's whether or not I go over it. Sometimes I get a bit over it, but I'm just trying to, like, in terms of like how far.
I think I know
with
what
like
you mean.
shred and being able to just be really, really fluent with very fast scales, and like because I can do it in like a bluegrass medium, but just in like a really fluent, like kind of neoclassical metal way. Like I'm so close. I'm so close to getting it. And then the only way I can get it is by just doing 2 or 3 hours a day for like 3 months. If I do that, I'll get there.
So it's really funny. My guitar playing is hilarious because I'm not a bad guitar player. Like, I'll say I suck ass and all this shit, and I'll like rip myself a new asshole, but I'm really not a bad guitar player. I can write riffs like, I can fucking be sitting. I'm like, damn, this shit's fucking badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not so much my guitar playing, but the shredding, right? Like, when I go to shred, like, there's this song that I'm probably going to release in the middle of the year, probably the end of the year. It's called Gray Lines Will Blur, which is why I said I like lines in the sand, not that I actually like any lines, like drugs or anything. But this song in particular has a guitar solo. Right?
Yeah.
I don't usually solo on any of my songs, but I'm very proud of this guitar solo. And it's almost like, I feel like you'll like it because it's very like bluegrassy country. Like, it comes in the there's like a little slide on it. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's when I knew. I was like, dude, I'm not a fucking bad guitar player. Like, this is I'm being fucking silly. And then I went to go try out for Ballyhoo. And this is when I was like, man, I fucking suck. Because they have like little shreddy parts. Yeah. And I got them down. And I was gonna submit the video and everything. I just got so in my head, and I was like, I'm not gonna do this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean about getting in your head about stuff.
Yeah, I feel like majority of the time is you getting in your head, because I feel like you could probably shred if you wanted to. You know what I mean?
I do it every day, man.
Yeah.
In my head every day.
No,
I live there.
my sort of shred abilities are fine. Like, it seems fine, but I know what I can't do. There's a thing I'm trying to get to that I know what it is, and I'm trying to get past it, and it's just going to take a lot of practice. But it's fine.
What is it?
Just being able to play at a certain speed consistently for a long time, basically.
So it's just picking?
Yeah.
Like picking wise?
Yeah, I'm learning like economy picking and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. That's just about repetition over and over again. It's muscle memory,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've got to build that up. That literally is what it is muscle memory.
Yeah, that's all it is, man.
Yeah.
You just sit there and
Even
if you're not
memories
doing
that my
it,
muscles have that I need to get rid of in order to build new ones.
There's got to be some exercises or something though. I'm sure you could look into that'll,
Yeah.
things that don't have to do with the guitar that you could do that'll.
While you're just sitting around.
While you're sitting around.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into that. I didn't know till today you were a music teacher.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I tell you, I bet you are a fantastic one.
Oh.
And I think now would be a good time for us to listen to your song. You ready to go and play the song for us?
Sure.
I already dreamt it. You said she's just your best friend. My head fell off my neck, lost myself to what you said. Written in cursive, twist and burn, and you swear you would, and you swear she wasn't. I could feel the cuts in my tongue, stiff shoulders and one last hug. Let go, but not enough. Fuck, I got lost in the moment. Now my feelings hurt. She makes you happy, so I overheard. And with the thought of who you are and who you are, all my songs are sounding insecure because of her. Picture you loving someone else, but this is worse. And now my feelings hurt. She makes you happy, so I overheard. And with the thought of who you are and who you are, all my songs are sounding insecure because of her. Picture you loving someone else, but this is worse. Trying to share your support, I would rather be left alone. Shutting down, I wanna go home. That's 'cause it's all I've ever known. Don't try to hold on anymore. All my feelings go on ignore. Go ahead and silence my phone. Fuck everything I'm responsible for. Now my feelings hurt. She makes you happy, so I overheard. Along with the thought of who you are and who you are, all my songs are sounding insecure because of her. Picture you loving someone else, but this is worse. And now my feelings hurt. She makes you happy, so I overheard. Along with the thought of who you are and who you are, all my songs are sounding insecure because of her. Picture you loving someone else. I already dreamt it. You said she's your best friend. Let me be, but stay nearby. Give me space, but not tonight. I already dreamt it. You said she's just your best friend. I'm too contradicting. We're both the same thing, and now my feelings hurt. She makes you happy, so I overheard. Even with the thought of who you are and who you are, all my songs are sounding insecure because of her. Picture you loving someone else, but this is worse. And now my feelings hurt. She makes you happy, so I overheard. In love with the thought of who you are and who you are, all my songs are sounding insecure because of her. Picture you loving someone else, but this is worse.
Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Seagrape Square on Indiantown Rd. And it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water. And it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like black light and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby-foot as they call it in France. Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there. All sorts of things going on at Oasis Root. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue. We can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. Outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. All right, so we've just been listening to an ad about Live Music Community, and what we always do at this point is we ask you, do you have any advice for upcoming musicians?
Yes. Don't listen to anybody but yourself. Do not, I'm telling you this, even though I do it still, people will try to put you in a box. People will try to tell you what you can't do. People will tell you that your singing sucks, and it doesn't. So keep pushing, keep doing your thing, and just don't stop. Don't stop just because someone says whatever. We all started at some point. So
you know what? Something that my wife says a lot is she'll ask for advice, and I'll kind of, and sometimes I can be a little too kind of prescriptive with her when she asks for advice, and she says I just wanted to kind of explore the subject. I'm not looking for you to solve the problem for me. And actually, that's something that is something that I've kind of taken to heart as well. It's you can listen to other people, but don't take. They're not there to give you the answers. They're for you to explore the subject.
There's shit there's shit that's constructive criticism. And then there's shit that's just constructive criticism that the person is projecting onto you. And I think that's the important to recognize the difference when it's projection or if it's actual helpful criticism. You know what I mean?
No, totally.
So
and and as time's gone on, I've seen in other people who've been successful at this that it's all come. It's like if you want something done well, do it yourself. If you want something done how you want it done, do it yourself. That's what the best people. The best people that I know in this have a lot of control over it, and they spend a long time thinking about it, and they have a plan, and they execute the plan, and they get on with it. And that's what you got to do.
I agree with you on that. I think for me, it's really hard to put myself in the mindset because I just want to be with people all the time, or just want to have this little group that's like a family.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not saying it's not possible in a band. Look at your lovely band. You know what I'm saying? You guys are all, brothers. You know what I mean? That's so admirable,
And actually, there's a lot of ways that, I suppose what I meant by that is that you have to be, you can't expect other people to do things.
No, I knew what you meant by it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But I also like that whole community of totally. like that whole support thing.
Yeah, and Hector and James and Killbillies, keep me accountable. But it's important to have people there and just to be like, yo, you want to be in a band with your friends, man. You don't want to be in a band with a bunch of hired people, with a bunch of people who you don't want to do that. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So we already talked a bit about the song, but seeing as you just played it, do you have anything else you want to?
Yeah, but there's Asshole's gonna be coming out. I'm just waiting for Chris to send me the master.
Get on that, Chris.
So Chris from Article Sound System is doing Asshole. He did Feelings Hurt also. Okay. He's probably gonna do Push It and a couple other songs that I'm gonna be putting out, but Asshole's gonna be coming out. Gray Lines Will Blur will be coming out, and I'm probably gonna release Push It and then something else. There's just so much that I have to release and I have to build the content for, and it's literally just me.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. That's nice. And even though it was a big group effort, Nina's Yard Party at the end of the day, the buck stopped with me, and this is the first time I've done anything like that really seriously. Mm-hmm. And it's a nice feeling to just kind of the schedule's what you make it. Yeah, it's an interesting. I enjoyed that. When it came to doing it live, it's been a little bit more difficult, but like all of the content, you know, it was very freeing to just be like, all right, I'm going to bring it out then, and you know, and I got things done quicker because it was just there was no great mothers meeting about it.
You just did it.
Yeah. But let's have a little bit of a discussion about this beautiful guitar that we have sitting in front of us.
Yes, this is Pinguina. The reason I named her Pinguina is because there's a lovely penguin on it.
I was going to ask you about the penguin.
I think it's called the Penguin, if I'm not mistaken. But I got this lovely guitar because of the headstock. It was serving what I like to say schnock. So I went ahead and got that because of it, and also because it sounded great. But
That's excellent.
mostly because it was serving schnock. So
yeah, just serving a healthy helping.
yeah, man.
Yeah. That's cool. It's a beautiful guitar, and I got to play it earlier, and it's got that kind of like. Now it sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's tight. It plays tight, like tightly, like it has like.
You're right. It is that weird.
But maybe it was right. I think it's just right, man.
It's just right.
Which is just something I like about guitars when they don't feel like they're just kind of falling apart in your hands. It's very like put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on. I can't with you right now.
So I know it's hilarious. Yeah, and what a vibe too. It has sort of like it's almost like Elvis-y, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I don't know what other color. I think they had it in like a shell pink, but I just got a Starcaster that's in shell pink, so I was like, I can't have too much pink and be a boy.
I've heard.
I don't know, man. Pink is punk.
That's true. Tell us a little bit about the Starcaster too, because I didn't know anything about them, and the more I learn about them, the more I want one. Sounds
They're
pretty badass.
fucking awesome. So the Starcaster is, first of all, it's a single volume knob. The volume knob is also a tone knob.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, so if you have it full blast, it gives it that like dirty sound almost, you know, even if it's on clean. But if you just a cunt hair down, that brings it clean. But such a great sounding guitar, man. Honestly, playing wise, feel wise, if you like. Now it's not really a tight guitar. It feels like it's big. It's like a loose thing, but it's like. If you're a shitty guitar player, this is a guitar for you. Like 100%. You're not gonna fuck up.
I'll take two.
Yeah. And it's a hollow body, you know? So
That's cool. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Oh, maple roasted neck too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love maple.
Yeah.
And I think then the next guitar that I'm gonna get, I want like the whole thing out of. I want to get a Telecaster that's not painted and is just all maple, including the body and everything.
That's so sick. Yeah. I really like the thin lines.
Yeah.
The thin lines are really, really cool.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Like, there's all these companies. There's this company online where you can build your own guitar and it has all the specifications. But it just seems a little bit too good to be true. I can't tell if it's a scam or not.
What is it? What's it called?
It's literally called something like Build Your Own Guitar or something.
Is it going to be like Temu or Wish? You're going to build a guitar, and then when it gets here, it's going to be like the size of my phone. You know?
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
I bought doggy pee-pee pads like that. My mom's like, yeah, I got them. And I was like, sick, cool. And I open them, and they're just like this big. And I'm like,
yeah.
They're working, though. She's not peeing away from the pee.
Oh, wow.
I bought an LED Christmas Christmas tree, basically, where it was like a string of lights that you with the stake or whatever, and you create a tree for your yard.
Yeah.
And it was pictured like in a yard and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. And it was like $12 on like Temu, and I was like, all right.
How big was it?
It was about 6 inches.
That's so funny,
it was so
man.
stupid.
I wonder how they get away with the most, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
On a completely unrelated note, though, I really like this guitar because of the penguin. Because I don't know if you're aware, there is a clothing line. It's much like the Izod with the alligator and everything, but it has a little penguin on it instead.
Penguin brand, yeah.
It's called Hector.
Is it really?
It's Hector.
Is it Hector?
It's Hector Penguin. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's a fucking Hector guitar.
That's so funny because me and Danny from Stop the Presses, we would wear penguin shit all the time. I was like,
I have a polo shirt with it on.
Look it up. It's Hector Penguin.
That's so cool.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, completely unrelated. But
maybe her middle name will be Hector. Pinguina Hector.
Hector.
You know.
I wonder if it's related to Le Coq Sportif. Do you know about Le Coq Sportif?
Why would something with my name be related to Le Coq? Why? Why?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I mean, why not?
Le Coq Sportif is a French sports brand. It's just such a funny name.
I found that when I was in France too. When we were in England, and then Kelly and I went over to France. Noelle was with us, and we were going to all these thrift stores and stuff. And I was looking for a jacket because I had like a really thin jacket. And it was kind of cold, so I was looking for like a heavier jacket. And that was like a huge brand. Everywhere I went, I like Lecoq Sportif. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Is it spelled like Lecoq, like straight up?
COQ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
The French cracked me up, man.
The sporty cock.
They knew what they were doing. They knew.
Oh, 100%.
No, I mean, they just don't care. They're brilliant. The French are just the best. I love them. All right. So, in terms of, are you doing any live performances in the near future?
So yeah, Changes Great is ready for booking now. Granted, my lineup changes, so it's just you just got to give me enough notification. Everything's like with in-ears and backing tracks and shit. So it's like I'm not trying to go out for like a small 30-minute set, because it's a lot of shit that goes into it. I mean, it doesn't mean that I won't,
Yeah.
But for the most part, I would love to go ahead and play out, but it's maybe we'll play out without backing tracks. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a 3-piece punk thing.
Okay, so I was going to ask you if it was just you or if there is a 3-piece.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right now, I have Mike on drums. Michael David, what a sweet boy. I also have my friend Gavin. He sometimes plays bass. I also have my neighbor Rob. Okay. He plays bass sometimes.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. Dude, so convenient. It was so crazy too, the way that happened, because it's like, hey, you guys sound great. I play bass. I was like, dude, I was trying to figure out what the fuck was in your garage. You had garages set up way sicker than mine, I was like, oh, come over. It's next practice. He just literally walked over with all his shit,
That's the best.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see it live. I enjoy the music very much.
I can't wait to play live. I miss playing shows so bad. Yeah.
No, it's good. It's going to happen. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure there'll be some 561 music related things that we can tempt you with in the future. But in terms of us, we've got Paddy Max on Saturday.
We do.
I think that's the only show we've got with Killbillies this weekend. But we have this little festival we're putting on in May.
It's a little one. 20 bands, 2 stages, food trucks, beer, probably wine.
And you should come. Anyone who is listening to this and has got to this point in the podcast, come to the festival.
Yeah.
We want it to be busy. We want it to be awesome. And we want to be able to do it again in the same spot because it's such a sick spot.
It's always a good time.
Yeah, right?
It doesn't even matter where it's at. It's always a good time. I think it's the vibe and the people.
It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good this year. It's been amazing so far every year. This year it's just gonna be ridiculous and a lot to do with the venue, with the location, the date, all that stuff. And in case you haven't heard, because I don't even know if we mentioned that at the beginning of the podcast, because of the sponsors like Stenger, Greene and Feiner, that are they're the presenting sponsors. So because of sponsors like them that have stepped up and really love what we're doing with the local community and the local music vibe and everything. Because of them, this is a free show. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning. This is an absolutely free show. So Meyer Amphitheater, downtown, food trucks, beer vendors. There's going to be art vendors that you can, peruse and buy some of their wares and stuff. But the show itself, 20 bands, 2 stages, it's free. It's not going to cost you a dime. You can go out there and hang out and just enjoy the vibe, enjoy the music.
And it's a killer lineup. It really is. It's the more I listen to the bands on the lineup, because I've just been kind of doing so many things related to the festival, and so I've been re-listening. The more I'm like, man, this festival's going to be great.
I don't listen to any of the bands on the lineup. No, I'm kidding. I actually created a playlist for myself, and I've been listening to them over and over again. But for those of you that don't know, or haven't heard, or haven't watched the last episode where we announced everything, and shame on you if you didn't watch it, the bands are Mason Pace, Tiger Sunset, Close to the Ocean, Ras, Not Spices, Fuakata, Medicine Room, Jacob Tacos and the Connection, Beeline, Reverse Oreo, Modern Odyssey, Stony Fools, Strider, Shakers, Ryan Hopkins, Slow Funk Pump, Off Orbit, Billy Doom is Dead, Little Things, and Blab Scam. And so if you know any of those bands, you know that there is such a wide variety of music in that lineup. Yeah. There's absolutely something for everyone. You're not going to go there and think to yourself like, oh, well, I don't like metal bands. I can't listen to 20 metal bands, because it's not.
It's not.
And you're not going to go there and go, oh, I don't like folk music and there's 20 folk bands. It's not. there is something for everyone. I promise you, there is something for anyone. And the beauty
something
of this,
for everyone, including a band called Slow Funk Pump. I mean, what else do you need in life?
Absolutely.
Beeline is phenomenal, by the way. I don't know if you've ever.
the whole lineup
my
is
faves,
just ridiculous.
my faves locally right now, Beeline, 100%.
Yeah, those guys are really, really good. And here's the thing, like, one of the things that I really like about our festival that I hear that, like, I mean, this is gonna be the fourth one. So, I mean, we've been doing this for a few times now. And every time we walk away from the festival, one of the number one comments I hear, and it just really hits me in the feels, is, oh, I discovered a new band, or I hadn't heard these guys before. They're really good. Or, you know, that's not usually my style of music, but I really like this band. You know, I really resonate with this band. Fucking love that, man. Like, to walk away from that and know that we introduced and hooked up, even if one fan hooks up with one band at the end of that day, we've done our job.
We're like musical matchmakers.
I know, it's a beautiful thing. Music, was it eharmony.music.com or something? I don't know where I'm going with that one.
It's in there somewhere. We can workshop it.
Yeah, we'll workshop it later.
Find your true fans at 561 Music Festival.
Oh, there you go. All right, nice one. Thanks so much for coming on, Gabe. We really
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have no idea. It's been a pleasure. So
absolutely. Absolutely. Peace out.